I never thought I'd be betrayed in my own home, especially not by the man I loved, trusted, and built a future with. But when I opened that group chat by accident, everything unraveled. Before I dive in, if you've ever had someone you trusted stab you in the back while smiling to your face, do me a favor, like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who deserves to hear a real story. Our stories are based on true events, but for privacy, we've changed the names. Now buckle in. This one still haunts me. My name's Clarissa. I'm 31. And until recently, I thought I had everything figured out. A stable job as a social worker, a modest home outside of Houston, and a fiancé I was madly in love with, Jared, 34. We met through mutual friends at a holiday party, and he swept me off my feet with this calm confidence, this charm that made everyone in the room lean in closer. Jared worked in sales, or at least that's what he told me. His schedule was flexible, his income inconsistent, but I didn't pry too much. He always seemed to land on his feet. After 2 years of dating, he proposed at a lake house getaway. It wasn't anything fancy, just him, me, and this nervous smile. As he slipped the ring on my finger and whispered, "You're my future." I believed him. That we moved in together in a house I inherited from my grandmother. It needed work, but we made it ours. I worked long hours. Jared said he was in between clients, but was looking for new opportunities. I covered most of the bills. Still, I didn't mind. Relationships are about partnership, right? That's when the first request came. It was subtle. Jared told me his cousin and a friend were in a tough spot, some rent issue with their apartment complex, and just needed a place to crash for a couple weeks. I was hesitant. I don't do well with unannounced house guests. But Jared reassured me. "They're good guys, baby. Just a little unlucky right now." He made it sound temporary. 2 weeks, max.so. I said yes. That was the beginning of everything unraveling. Jared's cousin and his friend moved in the next day. They were both in their mid-30s, Kirk and Dino, according to Jared. They didn't have much luggage. No food. No toiletries. Just a couple gym bags and a too familiar air about them. I tried to make them feel welcome. I cooked. I asked about their lives, but they were cagey. Always out late. Always whispering with Jared when I left the room. It felt off. Then, things started disappearing. Small things at first. My perfume. My backup phone charger. A silver bracelet my aunt gave me. Nothing major, but enough to raise eyebrows. When I asked Jared, he brushed it off. "You probably misplaced it, babe. You've been so stressed with work." I wanted to believe him, but I didn't trust him like I used to. 2 weeks turned into 3. Then a month. Jared kept telling me his cousin's situation was complicated. He was helping them get back on their feet. I told him it was time for them to go. He said he understood, but never followed through. I started coming home to weird scenes. The guys lounging in their boxers in the living room. Jared nowhere to be found. Food missing from the fridge. Loud phone calls in the guest room. One day I overheard Dino on the phone saying something like, "Yeah, she's still clueless. He's almost got her where we need her." I froze. Who was he talking about? That night, I asked Jared directly, "Why are they still here?" He gave me this cold stare I hadn't seen before. "Why are you acting like it's a problem? I live here too, Clarissa. Or have you forgotten that?" That shift in tone scared me more than anything. But nothing compared to what happened 3 nights later. I was in bed, scrolling through my messages, when Jared's phone lit up. He was in the shower. It buzzed once. Then again. Then again. Hey. Group chat titled, "Job done," white heavy checkmark. I wasn't the type to snoop. But something told me. Look.so I did. And my blood ran cold. Messages from Kirk, Dino, and Jared. Screenshots of my house's title deed. Photos of me sleeping, and texts like, "She's almost ready. Play it a little longer. Don't worry, once she signs the loan, we're golden. Bet she'll hand it over by end of month if Jared keeps playing doting fiancé." I felt sick. They weren't just freeloading. They were plotting something involving me, my house, my trust, my entire life. I heard the shower stop. My hands trembled. I took screenshots of everything and sent it to my backup email. Jared walked into the room, smiling, towel slung over his shoulder. "Everything okay?" I smiled back. "Yeah, just tired." Inside, I was already building the exit plan. That night, I didn't sleep. Not because I was afraid, though I was, but because I was angry. I was angry that I had let this go on for so long. Angry that I believed Jared's lies, fed his so-called cousins, and gave up my peace in my own home. But I wasn't going to explode. I wasn't going to scream that I was going to watch, record, and dismantle everything. The next morning, I left for work early, but I didn't actually go in. I parked 2 streets away and watched the house from a distance. At 9:37 a.m., a black SUV pulled up. 2 guys I didn't recognize stepped out with clipboards and briefcases. Jared opened the door for them. I waited an hour before going back in. Jared was sitting at the kitchen table, looking surprised to see me. "I thought you had a shift today." "Got canceled." I lied that I glanced at the table. The men had left, behind legal documents, and I recognized the address on the top sheet. My house deed. Something clicked. They were preparing to transfer the property, and Jared was the one engineering it. That night, I called my lawyer friend Carla. She owed me a favor. I sent her the screenshots, explained everything, and asked what could be done. Her reply? "If you give them even a single signed authorization, they can initiate a forced title transfer under false pretenses. You need to act before they do." So I acted. Over the next 2 days, I stayed quiet. Jared thought he still had me fooled. He'd make sweet coffee in the morning, kiss my forehead, tell me, "We'll have the house all to ourselves soon, babe." The audacity that he had no idea that I'd installed a hidden audio recorder in the hallway, synced to my phone, or that Carla had filed a legal notice to freeze any title transfers on the house, that I didn't tell Jared anything. Not even when I overheard him whispering to Dino in the backyard, "Give it 2 more days. She's warming up. I'll get her signature one way or another." That was it. Game on. Saturday morning, I told Jared I wanted to cook dinner for everyone. His eyes lit up. He thought I was softening again. I prepared everything. I even dressed up, put on makeup, wore the same necklace Jared gave me for our anniversary. I wanted them to think I was still their little puppet. At dinner, they joked, drank, and made toasts to new beginnings. Jared handed me a folder. Halfway through, "It's just a few forms, babe. Mortgage restructuring. Won't take a second." I smiled, took the pen, then I stood up. "Actually, I want a toast too." They raised their glasses. I walked around the table and dropped the recorder onto the center plate. "That's everything you've said over the last 3 days. The signatures you tried to fake, the threats, the manipulation." The room froze. "Oh, and just so you know, my friend Carla, she's a property fraud attorney, and the house title is frozen." Kirk stood up fast. "This is a setup." "It is," I replied, calmly. "And guess what? The cops are outside." 2 detectives walked in through the front door. Carla stood behind them. "They heard everything too," she said, holding up her own phone. "And Clarissa's protected under the state's homeowner exploitation laws." Jared stammered, tried to explain, but no one listened. He, Kirk, and Dino were escorted out, faces pale, voices shaking. I didn't follow them. I closed the door, locked it, sat on my couch. For the first time in weeks, the house felt quiet again. The case is ongoing, but I'm no longer scared. Jared tried to text me from jail. I didn't reply. His face was on the local news last week. Property scheme busted in suburban Houston. Kirk and Dino weren't even his cousins. They were part of a long con, targeting single homeowners through fake relationships and quiet title fraud. I was supposed to be another name on their victim list. Instead, I was the reason they were caught. I changed the locks, repainted the kitchen, adopted a cat. Not because I needed company, just because I wanted a fresh start. I don't trust as easily anymore. But I also don't doubt myself the way I used to. I learned something valuable through all this. When someone says, "It's just for a while," make sure you know what you're really agreeing to. Sometimes, it's not just a favor. It's a setup. Broken heart if this story hit you hard, or made you think twice about who you let into your life. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true cheating and betrayal stories. Our stories are real. We only change the names for privacy. But the warning signs? Those are always real.